Welcome back to The Rise, and I am fired up to do this episode with you today because we're going to talk about something that can be a game changer in everything that happens moving forward. And what that thing is that we're going to tackle today is how to get ourselves to do the thing that we don't feel like doing. See, the wild thing is we usually know what the next best thing is. And if we aren't sure, we can take that very quick pause and tune in and say, what's the next right thing? And if we've had any experience listening to our intuition, sensing, our gut feelings, we will almost always get an immediate answer. And if we don't, it means the next answer is to keep tuning in and take a walk or meditate or journal or whatever it is that helps you get clear. So the problem isn't often that we don't know what to do, or at least have a next step, even if it's just that next, 100 feet in front of us. The challenge, the problem that we're going to solve today for is what we do when we know the thing that would be good for us, good for our health, good for our relationship, good for our longevity, good for our business, good for cash flow, good for advancing our thought leadership, good for getting visibility. And we aren't able to find whatever it is, motivation, buy-in, empowerment, confidence, whatever it is, to just go do the thing. And I bet right now, and I actually want to, just so that we can make this really real and actionable today, I'm going to invite you to pause this recording for a moment and ask yourself, what is something that you know would be good to do in your personal or professional life that you have not done yet? Or done today, if it's something that's repeated, like working out, or making an invitation to a sale, or writing that next section of your book. Like, let's stop right now, take a minute, and determine something, because this will make the rest of what we do today much more potent for you to have something real to work with. Okay, so do that now. What is something you know would be good for you to do and you haven't done it? Okay, you got something to work with? I do. I probably have three things right now, right? I could think of personal and professional, right? Because we, again, the we often are not at a lack of clarity, we're at a lack of, what we could call it, motivation, right? And the structure I want to take you through, the framework that I like to use, three parts that we're going to cover today to help you get yourself to do the thing you don't feel like doing, is not something that we're going to rely on willpower. It's wonderful to have Nike say, just do it, or just do it already. That's wonderful. But often that's not enough because there's so many forces at play. So what I want to show you is this three-step framework that you can use to get yourself to do the thing today, this week, and keep doing the thing, whatever the next thing is in the areas of your life that matter the most, so that you can have, because what's on the other side of it, right? We're going to explore today what it's costing you not to do the thing, what is to be gained if you do the thing or things, and how do you make this a regular practice so when resistance comes, because it will, it's human nature, that we either don't want change, or we, fear the unknown, or we're scared of succeeding, or scared of failing, or we don't want to risk rejection, or we don't want it to be hard. We don't want to face that we're not good enough. We don't want to feel the feeling. I could go on and on and on. And here's what's cool. This three-part framework I'm going to share with you, doesn't matter what the reason is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's about your trauma, your childhood, your ancestry, something last week, whatever. It doesn't matter any of that. Okay. So what do we do when we know the thing that would be good for us to do, that would move us forward, that would put us on the path, and we're not doing it? We're just in resistance. Okay. So the first thing is, there's a paradigm called the three A's of change. And I like the idea of it, but it's a little bit theoretical. And I'm going to give you the how and the tactical and the strategic today to go with the theoretical. The theoretical is three A's of change are these. One, awareness. We need to be aware that we're in resistance, that we're not doing the thing. It's like, oh, I'm not keeping my commitment to work out. I'm not keeping my commitment to write. I am not making the offer to generate more cash flow in my business. I am not reaching out to get myself more visible through speaking. Okay. We acknowledge, like, awareness, right? Then the second part is we accept. We need to accept, instead of just, again, just do it, steamroll, very patriarchal kind of energy. We say, hey, okay, there's probably a reason. I'm not a bad person. I'm in resistance. I don't need to make that a story. I don't need to beat myself up. I don't need to show myself all my past failures. Just, okay, I accept it. I'm in resistance. All right. And then only then can we do the third A, which is action. We can take a new action that will get us into momentum for whatever the thing is. Okay. So you've got something real to work with. But now let's get, how do we apply the 3 A's? Because it's great to know them, but it's like, well, so how do I get myself to make the action? For me, just accepting that I'm in resistance is not always enough to get me into action because I still have whatever I'm resisting. So, what I'd like to do first, okay, so the 3 A's is just like a context. Now we're going to get into my 3 part framework that I use to actually get my butt to do the thing, to write the book, to just send the email, to make the offer, to book the venue to do an event, to reach out for the speaking engagement, all the things, right, that we're doing over and over and over, to work out, to eat differently. Okay. So, the first thing I want to explore with you is why. Okay. We don't need to know the reasons, but let's look at what's at play. Like, why? So, the way that I like to get at this really, really fast and not go into some, Freudian therapy situation is just asking yourself why you don't want to do it. So, let's take writing, for example. I've written 5 books, and there have been many times I do not feel like writing on a given day. I know that it would be good for me to write because that will mean at some point I have a finished book and I get to share that with the world, and I get to have the book open the doors to speaking in new opportunities and to make a greater impact and attract new people to work with us further. Okay, lots of reasons why. Why am I not doing it? Okay, on a certain day, I might say, I'm not doing it because I think the writing won't be good. Okay, so that's like I have to face my fear of inadequacy and not enoughness. Maybe I fear I'll write this whole book and no one will even read it. So I don't even want to write this day because I don't know what's going to happen down the road. Maybe I don't want to write because I'm tired. Maybe I don't want to write because I don't feel creative. Maybe I don't feel inspired. It's usually going to come down to some version of it's not going to be enough or give me a return on investment, or maybe I'm afraid when this book comes out someone's going to judge it, my family, someone online, and I'm scared of criticism and judgment, right? So let's get to it. Let's just ask, and here's the prompt. You're going to say, I'm afraid if I write this book, what will happen? And you can fill in whatever you want. You can fill in, I'm afraid if I reach out for the speaking engagement, what will happen? That they'll reject me, they'll ghost me, they'll tell me I'm not good enough. Or maybe I'm scared I will get booked and I won't know how to give a good talk and make the most of it, right? So let's get specifically for you, whatever your action is, you're going to say, I'm afraid if I fill in the thing you've been resisting, what will happen? And I want you to stop this recording and journal on that for a minute. Okay, you got it? All right, now we know what we're dealing with. And that's where the compassion, awareness, I'm in resistance, I'm not taking this action that I know would be good for me. Then the next A is happening here because we're saying, oh, I can kind of accept, like, I don't want to feel rejection. I don't want to risk failing. I don't want to risk succeeding and then feeling like I can't handle the next step. I don't want to risk thinking I'm not good enough and it being hard. Maybe it's going to be hard and I just don't want to do it because it's hard. I'd rather watch TV. I'd rather be a consumer than a creator in this moment. Can have some compassion for that part of us. Like, yeah, yeah, would be nice, right? If it was easy work. Okay. I'm scared it won't be successful. We don't want to take a risk. Yeah, I can have some compassion for that. All right. So we're really getting at those first 2 A's right here in the if we say the framework is ABC, this is A, right? Now, as part of the same inquiry, we're going to ask, what's the payoff I'm getting? Okay. And that's going to come very quickly. So you're going to write, the payoff I'm getting from avoiding this activity is. All right. So the payoff you might begin is like, I didn't have to risk rejection. I don't have to take the time. I don't have to stay up late. I don't have to get up early. I don't have to feel fatigued. I don't have to, go through the burn of, like if it's a physical workout, like it being hard on my muscles, or if it's a mental workout, like, working on my craft. I don't have to do it. It feels nice. It's relief. The payoff is relief. The payoff is a temporary, oh, thank God, I don't have to deal with I don't have to make the investment in this thing that is gonna move me forward, but if I don't pay the money, the payoff is I don't have to, feel stressed about money and worry about making that money return on the investment, or I can feel safe and secure hoarding my money, right? Whatever it is, okay? So you're gonna look at, what is the fear? I'm afraid if I do this thing, X will happen, so you're really specifically clear, not just some vague thing, why you, in this moment, are afraid to do this thing, and then what the payoff is. Okay, because there's a payoff, and that's where more of that second A comes in, compassion. Yeah, relief does feel good. Security does feel good. The familiar does feel good temporarily, all of it, right? All right. And now in this inquiry of part A of this 3 parts, you're going to ask yourself, what is it costing you? What is it costing you? So I get relief. I get, I don't have to spend the money, or I don't have to spend the time. I don't have to feel the burn mentally or physically of the work. I don't have to risk rejection. I feel like I'm under the radar. No one's going to judge me. No one's going to reject me. Like, whoo, okay, I've got this. What is it costing me? Okay. And you pause and write on that, right? What it's costing me if I don't write today is that I won't have a next book. And then I don't get to make the impact, and I don't get to have those opportunities. I don't get to go speak on the book. I don't get to go reach more people, touch more people, change more people's lives. I don't get to fulfill my purpose, which is to pay forward, the people that have written the books that have changed my life. I don't get to, like, what it's costing me is income, because, the book will open up, can open up a course, it can open up paid speaking engagements at a higher level, it can open up attracting new clients, right? So there's a financial cost, there's a life purpose cost, there is a self-esteem cost, saying I made a commitment and I'm breaking that trust with myself. And now I feel crappy. And I feel like I'm hiding and I'm playing small, and that feels bad to me. So it's costing me some mental health stuff around my self-esteem, and lack of, depression or whatever could come with ignoring my purpose. Right. So what is it costing me? Right. And now you're going to look at what the payoff is and the cost is, and you're going to decide which one aligns more with your values. Like, is my value in this, and I'm not judging this, don't do it rhetorically, do it for real. Is my value that do I value more, relief, comfort zone, just not taking risks? Like, maybe I do. Okay, don't make up an assumption. Don't compare your values to anyone else. What are your values right now? And so I ask myself, like, do I value that? Or do I value my life purpose? Do I value my, sense of well-being that I think comes from living my purpose? Do I value, taking well-researched risks and betting on myself? Do I value playing big? Do I value keeping commitments to myself? Like, I get to decide which one, the avoiding the action or taking the action, most aligns with my values. Because when we live in life with our values, we're happier, we're healthier, we're more successful, all the things, more abundant. In this case, if I'm doing it around my writing, which I've done many times when I don't want to write, the what it's costing me is grossly small compared to, or what it's costing me is much more important than the payoff. Even though it's hard and I still don't want to do the thing, I can really see what it's costing me. And then, to finish this little part up, what's the opportunity if I do it? What's the opportunity? Like, what's possible for me? That's kind of where the costs come in. But it's like, then you're just going to write. I want you to write 6 things that are possible for you only if you do this action. Okay, I'll give you some examples, then I want you to pause and do it. Right. This is an interactive episode today, right? So what the potentials are, oh, I write this next book and I have the opportunity to connect with, hundreds of thousands of new people that I never would have if this particular book on this topic didn't come in the world. A second one is I get to do a whole new podcast tour and, meet incredible people and hosts of shows that I love, and, connect with them and contribute to their audiences, which would be really fulfilling and impactful and wonderful. The opportunity is the financial abundance that comes with going on the book tour and meeting with amazing people who are looking to do what we can help them do. And, so there's that. And so I'm just going to write down 6 things that are direct opportunities that will come if and only if you do this thing. Okay. So I want you to do that now. Right. And then take a breath and just notice this alone. You could stop the episode if you feel like you're now motivated to go do the thing. Just stop listening and go do the thing. Okay. Whatever the thing is, writing, outreach, making an offer, whatever you're working out, whatever your thing is today, you might be done. Like, I often don't have to go beyond this, but I want to give you a couple other things. That's part A. I want to give you a B and C, because sometimes there's a lot of resistance. Sometimes you're really having a breakthrough. You're really going to a next level. You're really changing, up leveling your identity to match your potential of what you came in this earth to do. And we need just a little bit more. Okay. So if you've got what you need, just go do the thing. And then use that inquiry process to get yourself to do the thing whenever you need it. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to think about, if you're still feeling resistance and you're like, I have more buy-in, but I still don't want to do the thing, you're going to lower the bar. Okay. Lower the bar. This sounds very weird to say lower the bar on ourselves. You're going to lower the freaking bar. What does that mean? Instead of me saying I'm going to write for 3 hours on this book, I'm going to commit to writing for 5 minutes. I'm just going to say all I need to do now is take a different, like, would I be willing to write for 5 minutes? Would I be willing to send one email to one person about a speaking engagement? Would I be willing to post one thing on social media? Not saying I'm going to post every day for 100 days, not saying I'm going to write for, have the book done in a week, not just, would I be willing right now to do, and maybe it's not even the whole email. Maybe you're not even sending, would I be willing to write the email that I would send to someone about offering to speak in their community? I won't even send it. Would I be willing to just write the email? I don't have to send it, just write the email. Okay. You're going to back it up. You're going to lower that bar until it's like so easy to step over. It's basically on the floor. And you're like, okay, I mean, I can write for 5 minutes, like 5 minutes. And then I get to watch 6 Netflix shows. I prepare the email and then I get to, go, take a walk. I'm gonna, make prepare to make one offer to someone, and then I'm going to go like lay on the floor and play with my dog, listen to a great piece of music that I love, whatever it is for you, right? Just I'm just going to lower the bar, lower the bar, lower the bar, lower the bar, because what happens is that writer's block, or writer's resistance, really not blocked, is solved by a single keystroke. The minute we take any action, the minute we get into movement, everything changes. Everything changes. A body in motion will stay in motion. Typically, if I commit to writing for 5 minutes, I will write longer than 5 minutes. I'll write for 20, I'll write for 30, I might even write for an hour. Because I'm in motion at that point. I'm like, oh, okay, I do have some ideas, and this isn't so horrible. Or even if I think it sucks, I'm kind of feeling proud of myself, like I went to the gym and got to work at it, right? All right, so we're gonna lower the bar. Right. And then to finish this up, that was A, we're going to do those questions of inquiry. You might be done. Go do the thing. If you still can't do the thing, you're going to lower the bar and just do a piece, a tiny, tiny, tiny action, a micro action to get you into some kind of motion. Because once you're in motion, you'll likely stay in motion. You feel good about yourself. You'll start having some endorphins. You'll start having some dopamine. You'll start feeling like your self-esteem rising, and you'll want to continue. Or you let yourself off the hook and at least you wrote, at least you made an email, at least you moved something. Okay. C in the ABC of this is you are going to reward yourself, no matter if it's 5 minutes of writing or preparing one email or making a list of who you're even going to reach out to make an invitation this week, whatever it is, you take any action and you reward yourself with something you truly, truly love, something you love to do, something that's total pleasure. This is called pleasure bundling. Yes, pleasure bundling is about incentivizing the action. Yes, and it will work for that. But those of you that have read the research on pleasure bundling out of Johns Hopkins University, which I love and talk about all the time and train our clients on all the time in Thought Leader Academy, is that you actually, what is so wild when we do this is we will create a new neural pathway and you will start to like the activity you've been resisting. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds impossible, but I have researched this for 10 years now. I've done it on myself. I've worked with thousands of people that have coached on this. And when you consistently reward the behavior, it's like when I write, here's what I get to have. Oh, I watch the show. When I make an offer to someone, doesn't matter if they say yes or not. I go out to dinner with my friend. When I am brave and work on my talk and reach out to one person for speaking, I go on a nature walk because I love to be in nature. It feels so good. Okay. So why we are doing this, the science, we are a brain science based company here. Why we are doing this is because it will actually rewire the brain. So you will even become more empowered and confident and even enjoy. Can you imagine enjoy? Oh my gosh, enjoy the writing, enjoy the pitching, enjoy the outreach, enjoy the sales, enjoy the speaking, crafting, enjoy working on your craft, enjoy the workout, whatever it is. You're going to pleasure bundle. Now, I have dogs. My husband loves dogs, and now I love dogs. I didn't think I did because we didn't grow up with them, and now I love, love, love having dogs. And when we train when we train dogs, we've had 2 dogs together so far. The key is that you need to put the reward close together with the behavior you're incentivizing. So if I'm teaching my dog to go outside to go to the bathroom, and if I'm teaching him to pee outside, I don't want to have him come in from peeing and then an hour later give him a treat. He has no idea what that's related. His brain cannot wire that I peed outside and I get a treat it won't make sense. So we're not different. Okay. This is where we're going to just use our animal selves, right? You want a pleasure bundle right as close as you can within certainly the day, ideally a few hours, or if we can, I can't always right away. Sometimes I write, then go pick up my son from school and then take the walk. That's my reward, my pleasure bundle, right? Watch the show after I make dinner for the family, whatever. That's fine. But you want to put it close together so that your neurons, your subconscious mind, your synapses are going, ooh, when I write, something fun happens. When I reach out and make an offer to someone for sales, good things come to me. And the final little bow I want to put on this is that this 3-part framework does the most important thing to keep us not just on a one-off to get ourselves to do something, but to keep doing the thing we don't feel like doing at first. Because we're focusing on action, not outcome. Notice I did not say you treat yourself when the book comes out. You treat yourself when the person says yes to the sale. You treat yourself when the speaking organization books you for a 20K keynote. That's already going to be a reward. You're going to love that. It's going to be fun as hell. You're going to have a great time. What we want to reward is the action. And there's tons of, from Carol Dweck growth mindset to many neurological studies that when we reward the pleasure bundling research, we want to reward the action, not the outcome, because then we are not basing our pleasure, our self-esteem, our joy, our worth, any of that stuff. We don't want to place that on the outcome. Someone saying yes, someone paying us, someone putting our book on a bestseller list. That's already rewarding. It's wonderful. And all those things get to happen for you. They happen for me. They happen for our clients every day. Those things get to happen. But first, along the way, while we're doing the thing we don't feel like doing that's getting us to all those fun, yummy outcomes that we're excited about, we want to focus ourselves and reward action versus outcome. Then the whole process, the whole enjoy the journey, enjoy the process that never made sense to me when I was younger, starts to make sense. Because today I write and I get to watch a show done. Or I work out and I get to, listen to a great piece of music that just like, oh, brings me alive, moves me to my core. Call my friend and have a fun catch up chat instead of doing more work. Okay. This is the key. So let's recap. How do we get our things to do? And how do we get ourselves to do the things that we don't feel like doing in the moment? This is about overcoming resistance. The first thing we do is do the inquiry. Why don't I want to? I'm afraid that if I do this thing, what will happen? We get to the fear, whether it's rejection or it'll be hard or we don't think we're good enough, whatever it is, we're going to get real specific. What is it? What's the payoff? Oh, well, the payoff is relief. I don't have to risk judgment. I don't have to try something and not be good at it. I don't have to fill in the blank. What's the cost? What doesn't get to happen if you don't take this action? The connections, the impact, the income, the self-fulfillment, the self-esteem, the confidence, the mastery of craft, whatever it is. And what are the opportunities that can only happen when I stay in action on this vision? Okay. A. B. We lower the bar. Instead of committing to some gigantic chunk of this thing, committing to work out every single day, you're going to commit to walking for 10 minutes. Instead of committing to writing the whole book in a week, you're going to say, I'm going to write for 20 minutes today, 5 minutes, right? Lower the bar. And then number 3, you are going to incentivize and reward yourself for the action, not the outcome. That's its own reward. The action that you took to write or work out or reach out or make an offer or prepare a sales invitation or work on your course. You reward that action so that you activate a new neural pathway where you will start to like the thing that you used to resist. And you also get the reward. You do these 3 things and you're going to be in motion. The body in motion will stay in motion. You're going to build confidence and self-esteem and trust in yourself. And you're going to open up infinite possibilities and success for you that could never exist otherwise. I'm so excited for you to use this framework. I want to hear about it. I want to hear what you were resisting and what your breakthrough was when you use the framework. I'll see you next time.